Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary.
Today on One, COVID-19 vaccine of the best quality, says the CDC. Hundreds of education graduates compete for one vacancy. Namibian Marshal Rangers quit cleaning the streets. And former cricket international opens first high-performance indoor cricket centre.
The Namibian government announced last week that it has acquired enough COVID-19 vaccine doses to vaccinate 20% of the population. Health officials agree that the vaccines from the COVAX facility are some of the safest and best ever developed as a result of the research and testing conducted. As Namibia battles to contain the second COVID-19 wave, health authorities are pinning the country's hopes on the expected vaccine. However, fears against the vaccine arrive just weeks before the first doses are expected to arrive.
They want that African people must take the vaccine. But some of the countries, they say that if you take that vaccine, you might die. Yeah, which means to us, we don't want to accept, we want to see the proof that really this vaccine is working or not working.
No, I'm not one of the Namibians who's eager to take it, because actually from our own opinion, it was never tested by anybody else before. And if they want actually to let it to be tested by other people, or for me to get it tested, let it do it to the founding president who was actually tested positive with COVID. Then we can take it from there. If he gets the vaccine first, then we can take it from there.
No, I don't think I want to take that, because with that being said, they don't really want to contribute the vaccine to USA, Canada, and the third country I can't recall, but
I don't think I will, because I don't know what the vaccine is for, and we are not well explained, so I really don't know. I really don't know.
I'll not go take the vaccine. I feel like they're planning something, that's why. So I'm afraid maybe they're saying there's another disease again. It's in stages. Maybe they want to plan that stage into that vaccine.
I only have one reason: I don't want to die. That's my point.
Health Ministry Executive Director Ben Nangombe expressed concern with what he described as myths spreading on social media platforms aimed at discouraging people from taking the vaccine.
What has been described as fake news through the infodemic or spreading false information is strongly condemned. We discourage it because it serves no other purpose than to undermine the serious effort that is being made to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. We know that the pandemic is real, it is here, it is making people sick, people are losing their lives almost on a daily basis, and for anybody to want to spread misinformation about what government is trying to do to protect the Namibian people is most irresponsible.
He noted that vaccination will be voluntary, but highlighted that the government has a responsibility of keeping the population safe and healthy.
There is a need for us to protect the country. There's a need for us to protect the Namibian people. And for the vaccine and for the population to be truly and effectively protected, we need to have what is known as herd immunity. And to achieve herd immunity, we need to have not less than 60% of the population vaccinated. However, we don't foresee a situation where anyone will be compelled to take the vaccine. It's a voluntary exercise. That is what other countries are doing. That is what we are also doing in terms of the administration of this vaccine when it comes. So, but I think what people should realize is, as a personal choice, to say, what risk do I stand if I don't take the vaccine, given my personal circumstances? So it's a personal choice that the people will need to make. However, for reasons of ensuring that we have a protected population, the people must do the right thing.
Eric Zubin is the director at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and he stated that COVID-19 is a deadly virus, as can be seen by the deaths caused worldwide of 2 million people. He described the current vaccines, such as Pfizer, as some of the best ever developed.
One of the myths is that it was rushed, though, that they just pushed these vaccines through and they haven't been tested. And I can tell you that's absolutely not true. These vaccines went through an incredible amount of testing. They actually get more tested than basically any other product out there. So you think of the food you eat, or if you go have a drink at a bar, or you get some vitamins at the shop, vaccines are tested much more than any of these other things that we put into our bodies. They have to be, because there's so much at risk if they weren't of high quality. So these vaccines, yes, they worked as fast as possible, but these ones that we're talking about that have been approved in places like the US and the UK, that are getting approved by the WHO, like the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, the Moderna vaccine, they've been through rigorous testing, and now we literally have millions of people who have received these vaccines. So we're able to look at the real-world safety data. And it's true that a few people do have bad side effects. That is true of every vaccine out there. There's always a small number of people that have some sort of an allergic reaction, a bad reaction to the vaccine.
The Ministry of Health and Social Services continues with stricter public health measures in efforts to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. As the nation awaits the vaccine, they urge the public to adhere to the measures. Reporting for Today on One, I'm Joseph Shifeni.
This station subscribes to the Namibia Media Code of Conduct and is regulated by the Media Ombudsman, appointed to deal with complaints about media content that breach this code. This includes content that is inaccurate, unfair, or that invade privacy. We encourage aggrieved members of the public to submit complaints to the Media Ombudsman via mediaombudsmannamibia.org. The Media Ombudsman is supported by the Editors Forum of Namibia, advocating for ethical and quality journalism.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow. Unemployed education graduates gathered in numbers to stage a public demonstration against the Education Ministry for alleged unfair recruitment practices. The protesters marched from the Teachers Resource Center in Katutura to the Zoo Park in Windhoek Central Business District. According to the protesters, hundreds of qualified teachers who are desperate for employment nationwide are invited for an interview by the Education Ministry, where they are made to compete for one teaching position.
I'm an honors degree holder, completed my studies last year, majoring in biology and geography. Currently, I'm unemployed. The interviews we get called to is so hectic, is so disastrous. Imagine 100 graduates for one post. So eventually it's a waste of resources. We are fed up, we cannot anymore. So like what we are saying, what we are standing for is that we would like to be placed in schools rather than putting a post and then having every qualified person come into one place and then filling up the place. That is just not acceptable at all. We are not catering for that. That is not what we are catering. So we are giving advice to the Office of the Prime Minister to direct the Minister of Education is once a student has completed his or her studies, let that student be placed. He is qualified. He has undergone through the necessary skills and training.
The group also urged the government to control the number of foreign-owned private schools opening up in the country, adding that this trend limits the government from building more public schools.
Private schools are limiting the government from building more public schools, whereby everyone is affording. More private schools that are being opened are the reason why most of the government schools are closed, resulting to us in the street. If you look at it, private schools, they are underpaying. They are underpaying the qualified teachers. Private schools, they are not they are not employing the Namibian teachers. They are employing most of the Zimbabwean. They are not even qualified, but you have most of the qualified teachers in Namibia. The unqualified teachers that are in private schools, they are being paid to the fact that they are coming from far. Are we supposed to be paid by a kilometer that we have traveled? No. We are all qualified, so we need placement. So the government just need to place us. We are tired, and I repeat, we are tired of you, Commerce Region, advertising posts via WhatsApp messages. We want you to advertise posts on the notice board like any other region is doing.
The petition addressed to the Prime Minister Sarah Kugongelwa Amadila was received by Saima Shanika, the assistant to the Prime Minister. According to the graduates, they have addressed their appeal to the Prime Minister as they are frustrated with the lack of interest given to the matter by the Education Minister.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
The Namibian Marshal Rangers have decided to stop assisting the police to maintain law and order and cleaning up accident scenes on the Namibian roads. According to the Marshal Rangers, there were a lot of volunteers within the Namibian police force and the community policing that didn't want them at roadblocks and accident scenes. The Marshal Rangers will, however, still serve the nation as an emergency rescue response unit.
This is where we have finally come to a point saying, I came to your house, I offered my services, I offered my men, my vehicles, my power, my money, okay, to make things better. You welcomed me in your house. I cleaned your dishes, I mopped your floors, I cooked your food, I helped you for years. And what have you done? You have treated me like a dog. You have not given me due credit, and you have not given me the due recognition as a private law enforcement, in a way, organization. Because we are registered for close protection services. So what we've decided is, if we are not welcome in your house, let us leave.
According to the man who recently kissed a black mamba on the mouth and lived to tell the story, Namibian Marshal Ranger Sean Nodier said that the incident that occurred in December last year was the final straw.
For example, this December, we were invited as a stakeholder to be involved in the Road Watch initiatives. My men were at the road checkpoints with authority and permission to be there, but some individuals, like reservists and community policing, were complaining, why are the Marshal Rangers allowed to be there, but we're not allowed to be there? And this was causing conflict, and Nampal just said, oh, go away. Then, at the end of the day, I brought forward the letters, I presented the facts, and we were back on the streets, doing our duty the way we should. Now, the big problem comes about, I can't get the date right now, but I have the letter. I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago. Because of these, you remember, the Inspector General sits in his offices, the commissioners sit in their offices. They're not at ground level seeing what's going on. So the police on the ground know what we're doing. but those in the office are being fed lies. Yeah, Sean Nadir is arriving on scene, he's interfering, he's that. Meanwhile, the police on the ground are the ones saying, Sean, can you help here? Guys, can you help here?
Nadir added that they were always willing to assist following a request to the public by Nampol Inspector General Sebastian Datunga to assist in crime prevention.
Because it was in fact the Inspector General himself of the Namibian Police who encouraged us to do this by saying he wants the public to get involved. He wants us to do community policing. He wants us to help the police. So it was through his words that we decided, let's do this. And at the end of the day, it seems like jealousy and envy might have been the cause, maybe even a bit of political, because I can say within the last year since I was sworn in as the deputy of an opposition party of safety and security, the conflict has become a lot more. So it's become maybe a bit politically motivated too.
The Namibian Marshal Rangers are planning to operate countrywide as they are currently only operating in the Khomas and Irongo regions.
Win free airtime with #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Situated in the southern industrial area Maxwell Street in the Hypermoto City complex, the Craig Williams Cricket Academy and High Performance Indoor Cricket Facility is an initiative which is aimed to assist cricket enthusiasts and already developed cricket players to up their skills through training. Having played more than 10 years as a Namibian cricket international, Craig Williams stated that he came up with the idea as a way of showing his passion for the sport.
Basically what we've got here is Namibia's first high-performance indoor cricket centre. We constructed the centre basically to accommodate all age groups, men and women, players who want to learn to play cricket or would like to come and rent a facility and improve their skills. So that's basically what we've put together. The Craig Williams Cricket Academy operates inside the facility. There we've got coaching clinics from under 5 to under 19 for boys and girls. So and then when those clinics aren't running, the facility is available for rental, for, let's say, the men's and women's national cricket team or, our clubs, our schools, so anybody can just come and make use of the facility. I've played cricket for Namibia for the past 13 years for the men's national team, and from when I first came there from South Africa, I think there was always a need for a facility like this. In South Africa, there's a large number of these types of facilities. So after, let's say, many years of planning and, looking around for the right size building, last year eventually I came across this facility, which is in a very good central location, and following many meetings with the bank, the dream came true.
As cricket is considered to be one of the fastest growing sports in the country, Williams is confident that opening up the High Performance Centre will help attract more interest in cricket as well as to develop cricket enthusiasts into cricket professionals.
The facility is basically for cricket, cricket only. It's a high-performance cricket training facility. We have a cricket shop, so everything is cricket, but in saying that, our nets can retract, and then you've got a nice big surface of AstroTurf, so we can do kids' birthday parties. We have had some soccer events here where the guys play indoor soccer. So yeah, we're open to suggestions. We're open for anything. So anybody would like to use a facility for whatever purpose, they're more than welcome to approach us, and then we can discuss. Over the last, let's say, 3 or 4 years, cricket has actually grown substantially in Namibia. Our men's national team qualified for the World Cup, which will be hosted in India now in November 2021. Our women's team, who've been training now this week, they've had a training camp. They're doing extremely well. Our junior cricket is really growing fast. So I think the time was right now to open a facility like this, to help develop the youth, and also, to give a high-performance training facility for our national men's, women's teams, our national junior teams, our schools, and our clubs, a place to come and train and, to improve their skills. So basically for this, we're looking to fill up our academy, We've got space for 180 learners. So now we've just opened now in the last week, so we have still got quite a bit of space open. What's next for us as well is we'd like to go into relationships with the schools, with the clubs, whereby they can also use the facility. Cricket Namibia is already making use of the facility with the women's national team who've got a training camp this week. So we're open, for suggestions, and we're open to partner, with clubs, schools, and whoever else would like to make use of the facility.
The former Namibian international further showed appreciation to his sponsors, adding that the public is welcome to visit the High Performance Center.
Win free airtime with #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
In other leading stories, in March and April 2021, the Lufthansa Group will be adding a 4th and 5th frequency between Windhoek and Frankfurt, further strengthening its commitment and ties to the Namibian market. These new frequencies will be serviced by an Airbus A330 and are subject to final government approval. As of the 14th of January 2021, the regulations for travellers entering Germany from risk areas has been updated. Currently, Namibia has been identified as a Level 1 risk area by the Robert Koch Institute. This means that all travellers entering Germany from a risk area such as Namibia are required to provide evidence of a negative COVID-19 test. The test can be carried out up to 48 hours after entry and must be reported to the authorities. Passengers who are only transiting through Germany from a Level 1 area, as well as children under the age of 6 years, are exempted from the obligation to test or provide proof. Dr. Andre Schultz, General Manager for Southern Africa and East Africa, pointed out that the Level 1 risk status for Namibia is subject to change at short notice based on the infection rate per week and could therefore raise additional measures for entry into Germany. In addition, a mandatory 10-day quarantine continues to apply for all travellers entering Germany from a risk area. Travellers are also required to complete the digital entry application or a substitute application prior to departure. The current classification of all countries and regions is available on the website of the Robert Koch Institute. The entry requirements for passengers travelling to Namibia remain unchanged.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. Education graduates who are unemployed in Namibia have expressed concern with the recruitment process within the Ministry of Education. They say they are left on the streets with no hopes of employment. TikTok is also against the recruitment process since grade 12 holders have now been excluded. Moses said that teachers who are already employed should not be considered when they apply for new posts. Kelola is not surprised that the teachers are not employed and asks how they will make the kids understand if they are unable to express themselves. Helena said this is happening in the Hardap region. Numerous ongoing attempts by striking Shoprite Checkers employees, the Namibia Food and Allied Workers Union AFAU, and recently the Ministry of Labour's efforts in trying to get the retail giants management in South Africa to negotiate better wages for the striking employees continue to prove futile. FAU say that a Shoprite shop in Rundu continues to operate while the others are on strike. King said the retailer must be ordered to pack, and the economic struggle by workers will soon turn into a political struggle if no solution is found. Simi said the problem lies with the country not having a minimum wage for retailers, and the labor is toothless. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on to DN1.
Win free airtime with One Africa TV. Share your comments on the channel. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
A look at the weather forecast. First, an advisory from the Windhoek Met Office. Widespread thunder showers are expected in the Oshikoto, Kavango, Otjadon-Jupa, Kunene and Irango regions at places tomorrow. Showers and thunder showers are expected over the central and northern coastal areas tomorrow and on Saturday, so please do take the necessary precautions. The Namibia interior, partly cloudy and very hot in the south. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and hot to very hot with isolated thunder showers, but scattered to widespread thunder showers in the Oshikoto, Kavango, Otjadon-Jupa, Irango and Kunene regions at places. A fresh to strong easterly wind is expected in the interior tomorrow.
Are you for real, dude? Am I like sitting in class right now? Ah, not again, man. You know, this lecturers just bore me out. Yeah, I feel like just slipping. Let's go. Let's go. Yo. Get your books out. Get your papers out. Yo, everything out. I want silence, no noise, yeah. What you think you've been thinking? This is classic for region. Classification, I'm second. Never first, I've been tripping. Don't compare me with your gift. God is more than your talent. Either Alpha, Omega, never leave. Be on silent. Be on guard against women. They can strip you with patience. Playing lady doesn't make real men on their basis. What you know about angels, Lucifer and the curtain, and the doctrine of Christology, study descriptions. You gotta feed your faith and never stop sharing it. I'm on a mission, they're thinking of fiction. And your haters, they be talking bad weapon. I don't wanna be a slave to see them transform. I wanna make Christ know your hate so awesome. And every time I'm in the teaching, he's a real chef.